Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's the CJ. Welcome back to another quick update on the Be Easy Reef. This video, we're going to focus on the brand new pump that was released from AI a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be the Orbit 4, also known as their version of the Gyre pump. So as you guys know, I've used Gyres for years on all of my systems, and I've had the luxury of beta testing the Orbit 2 pump, the smaller version, on my system the last couple of months. So I got a pretty good feel for how this pump works and how it, operates and how easy it is to maintenance. So we're going to try to do a high level overview and just kind of give you the quick down and dirty on the thoughts, and maybe, if you want to get this pump, what size may be best for your tank. So right out of the box, looks pretty good. I'm not going to lie, it's well designed. I would say it kind of reminds you of the older Gyre pumps, but a little cleaner and a little different color as far as the paddles inside of it, the propellers. Now, one interesting thing, they did include a few different power adapters. So if you're someone, I guess, not in the US, they got you covered with that. And as far as maintenance, just like any other Gyre style pump, just kind of pull it out and it's very easy to disassemble. And as you know, you got to keep these things clean if you want the flow to stay consistent. So for those that were curious, just kind of give you a quick look on how it looks outside the box. Now it's time to jump to the tank, kind of give you guys a little demonstration on what kind of flow patterns these things can put out for you. So in this first clip, just gonna take a look at the normal flow pattern in the reef. As you guys can see, nice standing rock and wave and the different variations of flow throughout the system. Now, a lot of you guys were wondering, how I'm actually doing this. Well, this is going to be a combination of two MP40s and the Orbit 2 pump, which is the smaller version on the system. This is the one I've been beta testing. This is the one that's been in the videos, if you paid attention, thinking it may have been the normal Gyre, but it was actually the new pump from AI. So I'm going to give you guys a look at what it looks like together. Then we're going to kind of focus on the Orbit pumps by themselves as far as the flow patterns they provide. So let's take a look to see how much flow we can get out of this Orbit 2 pump. Now keep in mind, this thing's been running for almost 2 months, no maintenance, no cleaning, and now it's running solo with no help from the MP40s. As you can see, tons of water movement across the surface. We're starting to get a little bit of the Gyre effect, but because of that peak in the middle of my tank, it definitely impacts it getting all the way back to the right side. And it also means it would not be enough by itself, at least for my system. 2 of them, I'm pretty sure I'll be good to go, but I'm curious to see how much more flow we can get out of the bigger version. So for those that are wondering, what happens when you open this out of the box, you're gonna get the Orbit 4 installed and set it up. I mean, one of the main reasons I like this pump is because of the Gyre flow pattern. It's like my ultimate favorite flow pattern in the reef tank. But more importantly, AI lets you interface it with all the existing equipment, meaning Mobius, open the app, add device, it finds it just like it found the MP40s and any other equipment, the AI blades that I'm running on Mobius. All of it just connects and updates and does it all for you right out of the box. You don't have to really do anything else to it. Now, the other part I really like about it is going to be it also lets you interface with the MXM module through the Apex. So with me being kind of an IT guy and kind of a tech nut, I guess if you want to call it that, I really like the idea of a one-stop shop, having all of my equipment on one dashboard and one way of controlling it, linking them together, and it's pretty easy. I mean, this probably took maybe 2 or 3 minutes tops, and before I knew it, I was able to control this brand new Orbit 4 pump from the Apex dashboard. Now, we're not going to go too deep into it this video. Like I said, it's a high level overview, but I do plan on going more in depth with my flow patterns in the system in a future video to kind of really break it down for you guys on the why, the how, the locations of the pumps. All of that is definitely coming in a future video. But for this Orbit, review, I want to make sure I showed you guys it gives you multiple ways to control it: Apex, Mobius, and also the physical controller with the pump if you're one of those guys just want to hit a button. Now, if you're one of those people who are really worried about how pumps look and the aesthetics of it, this is definitely very low profile. When you look at it from the side, all you see is a small thin magnet, and looking through the tank, it's really a small pump. It doesn't really cover anything as far as making your scape look bad or taking too much attention away from the aquarium itself. So it definitely gets the job done when it comes to the looks and how it's going to look in your tank. Now, when it comes to the flow pattern, that's the main question. We've already took a look at the Orbit 2. Keep in mind the Orbit 2 was a little dirty, and for my tank's footprint and the aquascape, I think it probably would have benefited from maybe a different location. But with that being said, let's take a look at the Orbit 4. I wasn't sure what was going to happen when I turned this thing up to 100%. So we're finding out together on this video how much more water it's going to move. And if you look on the left side of the tank, you see that water creeping up scarily to the top of the glass, and then the gyro effect will start. But we're also getting the same issue with it not reaching the right side of the tank, once again, due to the aquascape in my system. And we'll cover that in a future video on why I have certain pumps, and that's one part of it. But overall, the movement on the water definitely is getting the job done with the Orbit 4, and it's a lot wider sheet of water. So if you're someone that's kind of debating on what size to get, for me personally, I think the Orbit 4 fits my aquascape and my needs better. But a different type of scape, the Orbit 2 definitely would have gotten it done. But either way, they definitely provide that well-known gyro flow pattern, and they're super quiet. That's one thing I want to make sure I mention. These pumps definitely do not make any noise. And for the flow nuts out there, the people who were just wondering, CJ, what happens when you turn things to 100%? Well, this is it, guys. Pure chaos washing machine. That's dual MP40s at 100% and the Orbit 4 at 100%. As you guys can see, things are definitely going crazy. And if you notice how the water is meeting in the middle, that also lets you know that this Orbit 4 is not being overpowered by 2 MP40s, which is also worth noting. So tons and tons of potential water movement in the system. And for those that are looking for flow patterns, definitely, you can consider the Orbit as an option for you. Depending on your scape, depending on your tank size, you got to have the right pump for the right application. And in my case, that's why I decided to go with 2 MP40s and an Orbit 4 to kind of get around my scape and do different things. So like I said, we'll cover that in a future video for those who are wondering, how am I getting this rocking wave and all kinds of craziness going on. Like I said, we'll cover that in the future. But for now, the AI Orbit, definitely go grab it. If you're a guy that likes gyro pumps, you'll like this. If you're someone who likes to interface it with your equipment, especially if you're an AI person or MXM person, go for it. I mean, you can't lose. It's quiet, it works, and it interfaces with everything. So we're gonna cut this video here. Don't want to go too long with it. Just a quick look at the brand new AI Orbit 4 pump. So as always, hey, you guys can like, comment, subscribe. You guys keep doing what y'all do. Y'all be easy and happy reefing. Peace.